Hello, good morning. I'm just getting ready to go out with a friend. We're going out for morning coffee, and I thought I would film some things for the video, but I also wanted to say that I started reading The Interview with the Vampire book by Anne Rice. I'm on page 88. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm loving it. It's, I think, one of the best books I read. But I'm not going to give you any specific updates now. I just wanted to mention that I've been reading it, and I'm going to bring it with me because maybe I'll have some time today to read while I'm outside, but if not, I'll just get back to it when I'm home. So let's go.
And then my cotton trousers, these are from Davinci Studios. And post scar treatment.
I wanted to give you a little update. It's been a couple of hours and I'm back home. It's very, very hot outside, and I didn't end up reading anything while I was out because I was at a cafe with a friend and then I met someone else and then I just didn't have time to read. So I got back home and I'm going to continue reading the vampire book. I'm on page, I think, 88, so I'm going pretty fast, but I haven't been reading it every day because I wasn't really feeling that well, so just took a break from reading and I'm gonna continue now, so I'll keep you updated. Hello, I wanted to give you a few updates on my reading for Interview with a Vampire. I actually just finished the first part of the story. I'm halfway through the book, so on page, let me see, 147. It has like 300 pages, so just halfway, and I'm really loving it so far. I'm not going to give any details about what I think, but I just wanted to say that I really, really like it, and it's definitely going to be at the top of my horror and vampire books and reads. My favorite horror book is Stephen King's Salem's Lot. I love it. It's, I think, a great vampire story. If you haven't read Salem's Lot, definitely give it a try. But I'm going to continue reading now. I don't really have anything else to do today, so I'm just going to focus on reading this, and I'm going to do that for the rest of the day probably. Also, I wanted to show you this amazing incense holder, if it will focus. Let's see. Okay. It looks like a shell, and it has this pearl which is detachable. It's like a magnet. Let me see if I can show you. So you can take it off and put it anywhere. I really like it. I have several incense holders, but this one is really special, so I'm just going to use it for a bit from now on. And I also wanted to say that I booked a spontaneous trip for October, so I'm definitely going to be making a vlog, and I honestly can't wait because I knew I was going to travel somewhere, but I wasn't really sure when and where, and so I decided to go to Budapest. It's going to be my second time there. I went there, I think, 3 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago, but I'm really excited because last time I went for New Year's, so it was winter and it was snowy, and I'm really excited to see the city in like its autumn colors, so I'm definitely going to be making a vlog. Hello, I wanted to give you a reading update. It's been a couple of days since I last filmed the previous clip, but I actually recorded part of this yesterday, but my camera footage got corrupted, so I have to do it again. I was talking about Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. Yesterday when I was filming this, I had like 60 pages left. Now it's finished. I finished this last night before bed, so I wanted to give you some of my thoughts. I definitely can see why this book is so praised and why Anne Rice in general is so praised, because I can definitely see why so many people like this book, and I can say from this perspective that this book gave me actually what I was yearning for after reading Stephen King's Salem's Lot, because that was kind of the first vampire book that I've read, and after that not a single book really gave me that exhilarating feeling and the thrill and the horror while I was reading it, and it honestly felt like I was watching a movie, and this is the first like vampire book or supernatural book that gave me that vibe after Salem's Lot. So this book is I think, very masterfully and beautifully written work of art, and it's definitely going to be on my like top 5 shelf probably for a very long time, if not of all time. And I think that the way Anne Rice wrote this is at times it's very beautiful and romantic, and at times very introspective and existential, and it has those like gothic elements and of course fantasy. It has everything that it needs to have, and I just think that she crafted a perfect work or piece of literature with this book. I'm very excited to read Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned, but I'll get to that in a second. I think my favorite part of this book was when they arrived in Paris towards the end of the book, because I just really like liked how Anne described Paris, how she set the tone for everything, how Paris felt for the main character and the emotions it invoked in him. And I just liked that you can definitely see character development in both Claudia and Louis, or Louis, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but I really liked that part of the book. So I wasn't a really big fan of their relationship per se from the very start, because I do definitely think that it was a mistake making Claudia a vampire because she was a child. I just find her a bit insufferable, but I think that was probably the point with that character, because we were supposed to see some kind of character development and interest for other people because she was a child, but with a grown-up woman's brain, basically. And I really liked the dynamic that they had with Lestat, even though it was toxic and not a great relationship to have. I think it was a great addition to the story, and I think that reading Lestat's story will be very fun. But yeah, I really did enjoy reading this book. Like I said, it's definitely become one of my favorites now. Something that I found out yesterday actually was that this series has 13 books, which honestly had me kind of shocked because I never expected it to have that many. I did see that some of them Anne Rice wrote like in the last couple of years, and I didn't know that because I wasn't really invested in this series. But I think I'm just going to read the Stat and Queen of the Damned books next, and then when I have time during the month or whenever, I will sprinkle in one of those books if I can find them somewhere to read. But yeah, I really did enjoy this. I think it was very beautifully written. I really like the story. All the characters are amazing, I think. I find also Armand very fascinating, and I really want to read the Vampire Armand book. So yeah, this is definitely, like I said, a must read if you like vampire lore, if you like dark fantasy. Like, definitely read this. I mean, I'm probably the only person in the world who hasn't read this by now, but if you haven't, please read this. It's amazing. So in my last video, I also showed you that I was reading this. It's Confessions of a Mask by Yukio Mishima. I enjoyed this book. I didn't really dislike it, but I can't really say that I enjoy it to my fullest, especially because I would encourage you, if you didn't read this book and want to read it, to read something about his life, because this book is kind of like autobiography, even though it was never confirmed by him or his wife. This book is written from a first-person perspective, and it's a coming-of-age story and an exploration of one's sexuality. And I didn't really like how he portrayed the other characters. He made them like lesser human beings, and he made himself so important and so cocky, and I didn't like that. And I also didn't really like how he portrayed the girl love interest in the book, and I didn't like the ending of the book because it was so abrupt and there's really not any closure. But I guess it's probably something similar that happened to him in his real life. It sounds like I hated this book, but I really didn't. I really liked and I enjoyed reading this book, and it's not that long. So if you haven't read this, I encourage you to go ahead and read this, because even though it does have some flaws, I think that the story is very beautifully written. It's just the way that Yukio Mishima writes. I love it. It's hard to read, but I really love it. There are also some other books that I haven't mentioned before that I wanted to read. These are two of them. I got them in Prague last year. The first one is Metamorphosis by Kafka, and I bought this. I haven't read this in like 10 years, but I bought it because this was like a new special edition. It's a new translation, and it has an introduction by David Cronenberg. If you don't know, David Cronenberg is a horror master, and if you don't know any of his like movies and work, I encourage you to see them, but only if you like horror and thrillers and like weird mind-bending stuff, because it's not for everyone, and it can probably give you nightmares and it can make you feel really weird. But I was really interested to see what he had to say, so I decided to first reread this book. I started this last night when I finished Anne Rice, but I read 20 pages, so I'm going to finish this today. I'm going to read the introduction at the end because I want to see, like, when I refreshed my memory of the book, I want to see after what David Cronenberg thought about this story. So I'm really excited to read this, and I really like the cover. The next book is Prague Golem, and it's basically a collection of short stories regarding urban legends in Prague, and I bought this because I really like this cover, and the back it's the same, but I really like that it has illustrations inside. Like, it has these etchings and drawings inside, and every story is accompanied by different like illustrations. Like there's this old Jewish cemetery in Prague, and it's like a 2-page spread. It's very beautiful, but I'm really excited to read this, but I think I'm going to save this for October because it's a very like spooky Halloween type of read, but I just wanted to mention it that those are the 2 books that I got in Prague last year, but I never showed them to you. I also read a book that I didn't really plan on reading, but it just happened, and I read it in a couple of hours actually because it was quite a fast read, and it's Strange Houses by Ukitsu, the Japanese author, and I honestly really enjoyed that book. I'm definitely going to read the other 2. I know there's like Strange Houses and Strange Pictures or Paintings, something like that, but I really enjoyed it, and I also put it like on my favorites shelf. And if you don't know, or if you haven't read them, it's basically like a murder mystery, whodunit, family curse type of story, and I really enjoy those types of horror books. So like I said, I'm definitely going to read the rest, like the 2 other books that he has. And yeah, I think those are all of the books that I read and that I plan on reading. I'm definitely going to start reading The Witcher, like I said in my previous video, after I finish Kafka, and then after I'm just going to see whatever I find or whatever seems interesting to me. But last night I did want to show you, I bought this Taschen art book, and it's about Hilma af Klint. I was so surprised when I saw this at the bookstore because I've been looking for books about her life and work for the past 5 years, I think, maybe more, but I could never find them in bookstores because they are like older or they are out of print. And when I found them online, the shipping was just ridiculously expensive, and I also could never find them while I was traveling. So you can imagine the way I gasped when I saw this at the bookstore, and I just knew I had to buy it right away. If you don't know, Hilma af Klint is a Swedish artist, and she's basically, this is her portrait in the back, and she's basically credited to be the first abstract artist before Kandinsky. Like her paintings date a couple of years before Kandinsky. I find her work and her life very fascinating, and I was just yearning to find a book to read about her life. I mean, I have her like biography on my tablet, but I never found like books that are like art related. So I was very excited, and I wanted to say thank you to the people of Taschen, if they ever see this, who thought about her and who decided to print this, because this is a very new book. I opened the like credits at the back, and it says that this book is from 2026, so it's a like new print, and like I said, I've never seen it before, and I know pretty much all of the Taschen books. I of course own some of them, but I was very surprised when I saw this, so I'm very excited to give this a read and to find out more. Like I said, I'm really interested and in love with her writings and her spirituality and her art in general. If you don't know anything about her, I encourage you to go and look up some paintings or some things about her life in general, because it's really fascinating. She left a lot of paintings and a lot of drawings and a lot of like diary entries and letters and stuff like that, so it's very fascinating. She had a fascinating life. So I think those are all of the books that I wanted to show you, and that concludes this part of the reading update. So yeah. It's been a couple of hours and I finally finished this. It didn't really take me that long to read, but like I said, this is just a new translation, which I really enjoyed. Susan Bernowski did a wonderful job, and I really like how at the end she described how she approached the translation, and it even says here on the back that she tried to convey not only the horror and grotesqueness of the tale, but also the humor and the humanity of the character, which I can definitely see, and I think she did a great job, because even though the main character is obviously a disgusting bug, you can definitely feel for him and you can definitely feel the humanity in him, and I just really liked how the flow of the text went. So I really recommend reading this, and I really liked the introduction by David Cronenberg. So if you come across this version of the Metamorphosis, definitely give it a go. I just wanted to do a quick update before I end the video. I actually started reading The Witcher last night and it's bringing back so many memories and I love it. And I think I read, let's see, I read 32 pages and I got to the end of the first chapter basically after he beats the Striga. I'm very excited to read this and honestly read all of the other books because it's just evoking so many memories and such a cozy, nice feeling that I get when I play the Witcher games. So I just can't wait to read it. I get so immersed into the world building that The Witcher has, so I'm just excited to read all of it. And I think I'm going to end the vlog here because I don't really have anything else going on this week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.